One post that's been going absolutely viral in the VTuber community is this one. Do you guys have any bad collab experiences? The worst one was a couple of years ago with a VTuber. We were supposed to play Valorant together, but something came up on their end. They canceled less than an hour before we were scheduled to go live. I get that emergencies happen, so I reached out to reschedule and got completely ghosted. A short while later, they even unfollowed me. We had similar sized audiences, so it wasn't like I was a nobody to them. I was just left hanging with nothing. I hope they were okay, but it definitely left a sour taste in my mouth. And that led, ouch, I knocked my knee. That led to a bunch of VTubers sharing their own bad collab experiences in the QRTs. It went absolutely viral. It's now sitting at 4.5 million views. It only happened yesterday. So here's Shoto talks on stream about his bad stream collab experience. Let's take a look at that.
Joke of the stream, right? Nothing good was said, nothing positive was sent my way, and I think like it got to me because after like 3 hours or 4 hours of like constant bullying, and there's like nothing nice, and it's like, you know, I don't think we're even that close for you to be bullying me like that, right? I think I just got sad. I started crying on stream. I just had to end it there. Like, it was so embarrassing. I deleted the VOD. I was like, bro, it was just... And you know what the funny part is? I think I remember correctly, the day after he came by and apologized by gifting me subs. I don't know if they, but then we had a serious conversation afterwards, right? And then things were fine. But like, again, this was like 5 years ago. So like, you know, he's a different person back then. I think one of...
I really wonder who it is. Who did that? People were... Oh, he did add. I will say that it's a funny thing, and I tend to look back on now more than anything. We'll chill and talk about it like adults. Surprise. So everything is A-okay with me and that homie. So did they collab again after? I'm really curious who he was talking about, because there was a couple male VTubers that he used to collab with a lot. So not Vox? Yeah, because he doesn't... I mean, he says the person... At first, people thought it might be Vox, because they do have similar audience size. But I am not entirely sure that Niji Sanji accounts, because they're corporate accounts, can give subs to other people. So maybe somebody can give us more information on whether or not they can do that, because that would rule it out. And it seems like they made up and they're on good terms now. So I kind of want to take a look at some of these, because some of them are crazy apparently. Also, I think he explicitly said him and Vox aren't cool anymore, so if this person in Shoto made up, it's not Vox. Oh, you're right. But did he say that? Or did he just say they drifted away? I wonder who it is. Somebody can find those gifted subs or that collab. Well, he deleted the VOD though, so we wouldn't be able to find it. And it was 5 years ago. It's probably like lost internet archive at this point. He said he doesn't fuck with him anymore or something. Oh, okay. It was a Minecraft SMP. I don't really like Minecraft, so I burned down a village, made a bee sanctuary, picked flowers, followed my friends around, just dumb stuff. Apparently there was a bee plot that everyone else knew to blow up my bee sanctuary for burning the village. The main guy screamed at me, hit me into my blown up bee sanctuary, legitimately screamed with his whole chest. I burst into tears and I muted. I tried to power through it and just keep going, so I couldn't stop crying and I had to end stream. I keep the VOD and rewatch it sometime. Why? Why would you keep the VOD and rewatch it? As torture? Got invited to a collab, was super excited to play. I get ready and they tell me their friend invited themselves to the collab, but I didn't mind waiting a while they would get me in. I said, sure, I don't mind. After their friends gets off, they finish streaming and don't tell me. I have to reach out myself in DM and ask them if they were still on for the collab. They said something like, sorry, yeah, we're just all really tired. It was really humiliating. I had hyped up the collab and kept telling my chat we just got to wait a bit more. Never again. Oh my god, that is so unprofessional. Holy shit. Crazy. I watched the stream. He did say he didn't fuck with him anymore, but he never mentioned a name, so I'm not gonna speculate. Oh, that is more hints. Rima, you torture yourself all the time after all the meme channel exists. Yeah, but it's kind of like, you know, funny. I introduced one of my IRL... Oh yeah, I responded to that. I was like, that's crazy. I introduced one of my IRL friend to VTubing and I was still super new. This one is like legit backstabbing. I introduced one of my IRL friends to VTubing when I was still super new. We were doing a visual novel together and voicing different characters. My chat kept complimenting her voice acting. She decided to announce that she was leaving the collab to go live on her own channel by herself. And on her way out, she said, and suddenly your chat is going to go quiet, implying that everybody was going to leave my stream and go to hers. That's wild. I hope you never experienced that. I hope nobody ever experienced that. Have you had a crazy collab? Not a crazy one. I did have one bad collab experience. Kind of was on the fence about the collab at first. Was like, why not? I'm gonna try. When I arrived, like half of the hosts are missing or like this podcast. Before, I'm like, okay, so we're not gonna talk about any, it's gonna be cool, right? I'm not gonna be, you're not gonna like try to spring some kind of crazy topic on me, nothing controversial, right? They're like, no, don't worry, it's gonna be cool, it's gonna be really fine. When I arrive, there's only one person there. As soon as it starts, they try to bring in some personal beef they had with a mutual of mine. What do you want me to answer? What do you want me to answer in this situation? One person tells me one thing, another person tells me another. Like, what, you dragged me to like debate about something, about your personal beef you have with somebody, trying to bring up trying to spring up this gotcha on me. I was like, all right, I felt it, my fault. Should have followed my how do you call it, my woman's intuition. I wonder if there's a man's intuition. I believe there is such a thing as a man's intuition, but it's not talked about as much. I mean, honestly, since then I've never had a bad collab. It wasn't even like, I mean, I can weather most things. Men's intuition flares when we meet red flag women. I saw this tweet where it's like the equivalent of woman's intuition in man is like knowing when another guy's a fuckboy. Just like women know when another girl is like a hoe or some shit like that. It was some tweet like that. Call that trusting your guts? Yeah, pretty much. Is your woman's intuition like your woman's driving? Actually, people say that I drive really well IRL. Gut feeling is the male version. You gotta learn how to trust your gut feeling. That's something I'm not very good at. I tend to like overthink every situation. Gut feeling is gender neutral, yeah, but I mean, they're saying that's what they call it. Intuition is all up to the person to listen to. Yeah, but apparently you can train it a little bit where you start trusting your intuition more. The more I guess the more you take a shot at listening to it and it turns out to be true. But most of the time, I get a bad feeling, but I'm like, my bad feeling is not supported by evidence of things I've seen. So until I see like evidence or things that this person would do that would showcase me that my gut's feeling is correct, then I won't act on it. Yeah, a lot of time we don't trust our gut feeling, and in hindsight we're like, yeah, I think my body was trying to tell me something, or my nervous system. A bullshit reader could also be it. You know when your bro is bullshitting when he speaks? Collab with your Oshi. I know I am on stream to the point of never replying to your DMs again. I have not collabed since. Oh no. Oh, Crony. I love Crony. This just happened today. I'm still shaking thinking about it. I joined a collab and experienced technical issues. When I let my collab partner know, they all ignored me. I was panicking, but they didn't even bother to respond. No matter how many times I repeated myself, no matter how much I frantically try to fix it, they still ignore me. I wanted to cry. I thought they were my friends. I thought I could count on them, but I was wrong. I guess our friendship meant nothing to them after all. Anyway, it turns out I had Discord muted. Oh yes, I read that yesterday. That was that happens all the time. If you play a friend slop, you will mute each other in Discord. And then the next time you collab, you're like, I can't hear this person. Dude, that's so funny. I felt this so much. That was a great tweet. I had a collab plan with a Vtuber who was super nice and we had similar numbers. She was a bit smaller than me, but not that much. She was the one who asked me to collab and I said yes because I wanted to get to know her more. One of her videos got viral. She grew a lot in one day. She went from 30 to 500 viewers. Holy shit, out of one viral video? She said she didn't care about the numbers and that she still wanted to collab with me, so I announced the collab to my community. The day we scheduled the collab arrived. She started streaming. I wrote her, but she ghosted all of my messages and call. I went to her chat and said, hey girl, I'm ready whenever you are, but I got ignored. She then started playing on streams other games. She never spoke to me again and started hanging out with bigger VTubers. I was live while this happened, so my community saw me being ghosted. I felt very heartbroken. I was naive and really thought she wanted to be my friend. Yeah, 4 view growth in one day? That is insane. I wonder what happened. Was it a short or something? I was a part of this group where we would all play games after every week. It was this for months until one day, one of the messages me saying, everyone is taking the night off. I thought, oh, okay, I'll just take a day off as well since it was a long week. By the way, we were all the same viewership except 2 of them, and they pulled more than 1K. I checked my phone and got a notification that they all went live. I was confused, so I popped into the streamer who messaged me and started listening. At first, their communities were confused where I was since our group was always together. Then my quote-unquote friends were telling their communities how my voice was annoying, made their ears bleed, and mainly they were losing viewers. Some of their chat defending me, which I've always appreciated, but a ton of people were making very mean comments about my voice. That is terrible! Why would they say that on stream too, in front of everybody? On record! I cut all of those friends off, cried from there. I didn't call up for almost 5 years after that, only with people I knew genuinely loved me. Took me a very, very long time to heal from this, but VTubing has helped me a ton. Yeah, I didn't really have a lot of bad collab experiences. I've joined a lot of really toxic gaming lobbies, like, because I used to play a lot of multiplayer games. And I think this is where you learn to be a lot more tough, I think. When I was a baby streamer, I reached out to a bigger streamer who had rated me and asked them if they'd like to collab on a game we both played. For context, I only had a couple hundred viewers and they had 2 or 3K. Oh, followers, not even viewers. I said yes, I was super excited, but also really nervous because I had never really collabed with anyone I perceived as bigger, so I didn't want to be awkward on their stream. The day of comes and I DM'd them a few hours prior. We talked via X and asked if I need the VTube Studio DLC that lets you put your model together on screen. They said yes and I need to buy it, no problem. Collab time comes. I DM asking if you should hop on a Discord call or something. She hits me with a I'm not streaming tonight kind of response. Confused, asked if maybe I mixed up our date. She said no, she canceled her streams for tonight and that I should have seen it in her Discord announcement. Mind you, I'm not in her Discord. I just said okay and moved on, declined ever rescheduling because I respect myself more than that. Now that I've grown, this person I always super overtly friendly to me. I doubt they even remember this because I was just some tiny streamer at the time, so the collab was probably nothing to them. I can't help but think they would have handled it differently if I were bigger, though. Maybe they were expecting her to stream and not them. Oh my god. He was collabing with a partner that got a Google Doc release in the middle of the collab. Yikes. The fuck? I died in a game and got told I deserved to die, and then everyone started to join in describing in elaborate details of different ways I deserved to die for almost 10 minutes while laughing, and I didn't want to speak after that. Jesus. The Halo 3 and COD 4 lobbies prepare me for any kind of trash talk. Dude, I used to get, like, raked, man. Like, you know, straight up guys just yelling at me, full screaming into the mic because I didn't know, like, the mechanic of a raid or something when I was, like, new to a game. Yeah, there used to be so many instances like that I think it's ended up teaching me a lot about the internet stuff. I often have people making fun of my accent, but there was one time in particular, I almost left before the collab had even gone live. I was invited by a friend at the time to a group collab. I wanted to be respectful, but one person immediately latched onto my voice and started putting on an exaggerated accent in a mocking manner. Jesus. Anytime I tried to join the conversation, she'd laugh and do the, oh my god, can anyone even understand her? Thing to try and be funny. I eventually went silent because why bother? It took everything in me to not leave before we went live. I only stayed for my friend's sake and she reached out after to apologize, which I appreciated. But something being said at the time would have been nice, or even acknowledgement from the girl mocking me. It's one of the big reasons I was anxious about all of you hearing me. I know my accent is a surprise on first encounter, but being mocked knocks my confidence to the point that I remember asking if he'd prefer a debut with an American accent. I don't mind my friends having little jabs now and again since I know it's friendly and I can mock them just as much, but for a stranger to do that shit is another thing. Yeah, no, completely agree. Putting collabs with male VTubers without notice. I was collabing with someone until this pick-me girl came to this chat asking him to play Valorant with her, but because I don't play Valor, she proceeded to drag him away from the collab, replace me with 3 other guys, and ignore my existence altogether. Collab with a male VTuber that I thought was a friend, only to have him say, I could see myself dating you. We were both live, so I felt like I couldn't say anything about it, and so I kept quiet for another 2 hours until stream was over. This is so inappropriate. Trying again, made fun from how my voice sounds. Yeah, that is just way too awkward. Some people have literally 0 social skills and don't know how to read a room. I hate people who don't know how to read a room. A long time ago, I collabed with this person who 10 minutes before the collab called me on Discord and told me I wasn't allowed to use certain perk/perk combos because she didn't like being associated with that type of gameplay. What? I think one of the combo was FTP plus BU and some other strong perks like pre-nerf adrenaline. At the time, she was a bigger creator than me, and I had already announced on Twitter that I was collabing with them, so I just agreed and did a collab, but she was such a weirdo. I was cynical. I remember a collab at the beginning of my career where the other girls kept trying to flirt with my husband. What? That's a crazy way to open a tweet. And after he said, please do not do that, and it was really awkward, and after the collab, I chewed her out for disrespecting my husband's wishes and frankly disrespecting me, and she got mad at me and called me selfish and other names I don't want to repeat. Yeah, that was something. The other girl has since graduated. I wonder why. I'm surprised she didn't have a stellar career. Couldn't imagine why someone like that didn't last in the streaming space. Yeah, exactly. Truly a mystery. And that was a tough life lesson I learned, that I shouldn't be collabing with people without meeting them offline and casually chatting first. Collab partner realized midstream I'm a girl, not a fanboy. That one was funny. I liked it. There was one. I think everyone had a bad collab, including me, but there are ways to make sure that those bad collabs are few and far between. Take your time before you make content with someone. Get to know them. Show up to streams. Vibe check them. Call a bit before you go live and lay out a plan. Ask boundaries. These small things can go a long way. I'm making sure everybody has a good experience with each other. Yeah, how selfish of her to not want to share her husband. Like, absolutely. Oh, news. Back when I was a Let's Player, I was trying to be more social and collab with people for co-op games. I found someone in an LFG and he asked if I minded if he added another girl to the group. Of course, I was happy to have her. While we were getting to know each other, he said he was going to run to McDonald's real quick for lunch and left me alone with this girl. Oh, God. Okay, so she started asking me a bunch of personal questions, especially my age. I was 26 at the time, so when I told her, she audibly gasped. She was 19. Bro, if somebody audibly gasps when I tell them their age, I'm insulted. I'm offended. I am offended. Nah, dude. And then ask why someone my age was even playing video game. Old. When the guy came back like 20 minutes later, she immediately went, did you know she's 26? The most, oh my god, what a fucking hack tone I've ever heard. I kind of expected him to say no big deal. He was 24, but nah. She kept digging at me, so I just said, haha, good luck with the collab, and dipped out of the group. They collabed once and never again. Wonder why? Oh yeah, I remember when this happened. I quit doing the abduction because one VTuber who I'm collab with reported me over a joke, even though they knew my style and agreed to it. Long story short, I didn't want this kind of stress anymore. It's not my problem. You have changed your mind afterwards. I've never figured out who was the VTuber in question that got upset. But I remember all of this going down on Twitter back then. That was, Katarina was part of Idol Corp. She was one of like their very first gen VTubers. Yeah, I really wonder who it's about. Like, what happened? What did she say that shocked them? Is there other good ones? Not a collab, but I went to VTuber Discord after being invited to mingle and hopefully make friends one day. I went to the VC, they kept saying Spurgy to everything, and I'm there spurging out. I was so off-putting, I left quietly without saying bye. Didn't reply anymore and followed. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with saying Spurgy. Collab etiquette. Mute yourself while talking to chat. Yeah, but sometimes when you're using in-game comms, you can't do that. And you kind of need to sometimes just call out like big gifts, you know. Be on time, remember, or a raid. On time, remember the time date. Communicate to the host. Be mindful. The host should be prepared. Uh-oh. I'm not very good at being prepared. Probably ask if some topics are off. Yeah, I would probably ask if some topics are off topics, that some things are off topic to talk about during the collab or to joke about. I was supposed to be in a group collab, and for some reason the group just like didn't want to prepare at all. They were already streaming and just said, okay, join whatever. Some people are way more casual about collabs, yeah. Especially the Twitch streamers that stream for multiple hours. I think VTubing appeals to a lot of people who are socially unskilled, which means constant miscommunication due to conflict avoidance. We've lost friends because we didn't hang out enough. End of the day, we're all supposedly adult and we should act like it. I mean, it's hard to hang out off stream with other VTubers. Like, after I'm done streaming, like yesterday, after I was done streaming, there's no way I'm talking to anybody. Like, my friends, even my IRL friends are calling me like the entire day, and they're like, bitch, you're so hard to get you're so hard to reach. You never answer your phone. I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody because my social batteries are completely depleted. Like, I get so tired, I can't socialize more. And after a stream, I just want to like sit outside for a bit, get some sun, some vitamin D, or like catch up on a book I'm reading, things like that, you know? And unfortunately, reading a book is a solitary experience. Same as, again, script writing. You cannot write with somebody else next to you. So unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that I do is like solitary or watching TV. My worst collab experience was with two different streamers that I didn't know were secretly seeing each other, and they decided my stream was the perfect time for bedroom talk. What? Nah, dude, that is weird. One started making teasing comments, and then the other one was like, keep being a brat and I will get over there and teach you a lesson again. And then they started dirty talking. I remember deafening and ending stream shortly after. Oh my god. I was invited to a collab. I had an in-game voice chat, and the people in the collab would openly talk to their chat without muting. They all knew each other from before, so they would also do inside jokes with each other and their chats. No one talked to me for the entire collab. I would talk to my chat muted in game, but after a while decided to go fuck it. If everyone else is talking muted to their chat, I guess I will. So I started to openly talk to my chat and try to involve myself into the collab, since nobody else would involve me, only to have someone go, oh damn, you're so loud. In an annoyed tone. I would also joke around letting myself get killed for content and to let the collab partners clip farm, but the person who called me loud openly started to talk to everyone how annoying I was when I was dead, so I couldn't defend myself. Not the worst collab I've had, but it's one of the most recent ones that had truly scarred me. It made me so insecure about how loud I was. I think the advice of like going into their streams, like watching their content a lot to know what they're like is a good one. So it's not that you need to have like a phone call, a 30-minute phone call prior to it, because I hate having phone calls or like Discord calls prior to a collab, because I already feel like collabs are a lot of work and energy, that if I need to like do an entire setup on top of that, it feels like a lot for me personally. And but I think like you should know what a person is like before getting into a collab, and it's not that hard to know. Yeah, actively trying to pay attention to my surroundings and not talk over people. But recently I was in a Discord call with like 15 other people, and person randomly shouted at me for talking too much. Well, I mean, Discord calls, there's a lot of people that just don't know about Discord call etiquette, like even in our Discord server. And it's such an awkward thing to do, but you kind of have to do it, where somebody will join and like, let's say I was like share screening a video for people to watch, and it just like they spoke over the entire video like all the time, but not talking about the video. Or people that don't understand that they need to stick to the topic of the conversation. You're joining a call, they're talking about something else, but they keep trying to talk about something else. It's like, no, you kind of have to read the room a little bit. Bonnie sent me her collab experience. It's quite funny. Poor Bonnie. I like of common sense, but unfortunately, I mean, it's a lot of people on the internet are obviously gonna be like that, right? And then you have to be like either me or the mods have to tell them something like, yo, don't talk over the video, or don't keep switching the topic to something about yourself. Or you know, when two people are gaming and other people join to like hang out, but the two people that are gaming need to communicate about the game, but everybody else that joins kind of talks all the time, so the two people that are gaming can never communicate. Like, if you are somebody that's mindful of your surrounding, you'll make sure to leave gaps and pauses into the conversation to let other people talk. But that's just etiquette. And well, if you haven't been taught that, I don't know how you can acquire those skills. You're just supposed to notice. But I've noticed most of the time when people join voice calls, they just are really starved for somebody to listen to them, you know? Even though you think, oh, they're dreaming, you know, it's not that they don't even ask me what I think about stuff, for example. They just want to tell me about stuff that happened to them. And they don't even really care about my answer. In fact, I'm pretty sure my answer would be of no consequence to them, but they really like hearing themselves talk and hearing themselves just yap about something, and I'm kind of like the recipient for it. But it's kind of sad when you think about it, because it's like there's so many people that are just like very lonely, and they're just starved for just a single person listening to them. And because I'm a forward-facing person, they're like, oh, well, maybe Rima can listen to me, you know? Oh, man. We need to find ways for people to talk to each other again, like in life and stuff. Hey, you! Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I'll see you in the next video.